One of the draft bans are Twisted Fate, Talia, Renekton on the TSM side, and Olaf, Pantheon, and Lulu, which means Lillia is the first pick here. See a lot of these strong junglers picked early. Does seem like Lillia is the one next in line with Olaf being banned away, as Camille going to be selected for Alphari.
Yeah, with Camille coming through, there's always the possibility of Galio just getting locked in. We know it can be a flex, it can go mid, it can go support. We have been mostly just seeing it as a mid laner in the LCS. I wouldn't mind that, but they can wait on it as well if they want. But it will be the pick. I think it makes a lot of sense here. It's just really such a strong global composition. It also allows you to pick an aggressive farming jungler. You know, if they want an AP jungler alongside the Camille, you can look towards something like Nidalee that is still left up. Lillia has already been taken for Spica, so that will be available, and that would allow Santorin to really get aggressive in the jungle here as well. You know, over on the other side, it's going to be a large question of what the answer is for Huni. You know, Renekton has already been banned out. He has been going to Gnar quite a bit. You can look towards something like Ornn or even Malphite. I don't mind. I think Malphite can actually hold his own just fine against the Camille and then really offer a lot into the team fight. So still some options here on the table for Huni.
Yep, Kaisa, though, kind of the best AD carry in the pool, is going to be picked up there by Lost. And Syndra for PoE, so sticking to what he knows here. Pretty safe blind pick as far as mid laners go, so no worries there for PoE picking up a pick he is very comfy on. Last pick here in Phase 1, though, for Team Liquid could be interesting. Probably not going to be Janna, although I will say we have seen a pretty big uptick in Moonstone Renewer in general, so maybe see more of those Enchanter-style supports to support that, although Nidalee also can build the item, and that's going to be the jungle here for Santorin.
Yeah, Enchanter support's on the rise, but I don't think we're just going to get the rando blind Janna like that. You know, probably not going to be the play. Nidalee makes a lot of sense. You know, that was one of the AP junglers that is still up. Elise really hasn't been getting much play. Fiddlesticks, a lot of the other AP junglers really just don't see play. So it does tend to be Talia, Lillia, and Nidalee. It allows you to go for AD top laners, which are kind of the name of the game these days. A lot of people are playing these bruisers and fighters up in the top lane. So having an AP jungler pretty important. As I was talking about earlier when I suggested this as a possible pick, it pairs up also well with the Galio because you want to be in your opponent's face, you want to be invading, you want to be farming not just your side of the jungle, but potentially your opponent's side, right? That's something that Nidalee can do, and with the support from a Galio mid lane, well, if you're attacking at Raptors or even at Wolves, it's a very easy ult right to come in and support you if Spica is trying to contest that.
All right, well, Alistar banned away from SwordArt. Don't really mind that one. Certainly been pretty potent on these aggressive engaged style supports. Felios banned away. Gangplank also banned away, so that's definitely a pick that Huni has been known to play, although not one he's pulled out recently. Samira also the other AD ban, so going to knock Tactical down a few pegs, but MF looked pretty good in the last game we just saw. Perhaps a visit here for Tactical on the pick.
Yeah, I mean, I think MF is really, really good. You can go alongside the engaged supports. Generally, they go PTA. If you're playing alongside an Enchanter like we saw in the previous game with Seraphine, you can go more for that Comet style and look to kind of overwhelm your opponents with poke. So there's a lot of different rune setups you can go, different builds you can go on the MF, and do think that it's just generically a really, really strong pick. Over on the other side, I do think TSM's going to want some engage from SwordArt. We saw him go to the Maokai last week, but things like Leona, things like Nautilus, even the Gragas are available. I don't think it would be Gragas here though, just because they already have, you know, a fair bit of AP. So I'm expecting an AD top, you know, something like the Gnar potentially, and some sort of engage here, you know, out of the bunch that I listed from SwordArt.
Yep, going to be Gnar there, and SwordArt's going to get the last pick here on the TSM side. Haven't seen the bottom lane fully yet. You can maybe think Galio, but from the looks of things, you're guessing that Team Liquid are actually counter-picking support here for CoreJJ, which is actually something they do quite a lot. CoreJJ is a super high-impact player, not just in his 2v2, but also out of lane as well. So they often leave him last pick pretty far down in the draft to make sure that he can get a favorable matchup and make sure he can affect the map early on. But Leona, very powerful, has been kind of strong, really since the engaged support started coming back into the meta, and SwordArt is going to take that one into battle.
Yeah, I think makes a lot of sense. Also kind of a takeaway potentially from CoreJJ, because Leona plus MF is a combo that a lot of people do like. Leona can lock down for that MF ultimate, so that can be pretty powerful. You know, if TL do want more engage, it's probably going to be, you know, the Nautilus or the Gragas, something like that. I think does make a lot of sense, and it feels like they're playing more kind of for that team composition than they are necessarily just for that that 2v2. I think Nautilus can be very, very effective against both Syndra and Kaisa. They're kind of like mid-range style champions, so generally speaking, it's pretty easy. Just get that point and click Nautilus R onto either the Syndra or the Kaisa, and that generally just kind of pushes you back out of the fight, right? You have to then retreat. You're zoned off a lot of what's going to happen. It's also another go button besides just the Camille for the Galio. You can hook in there and then have the Galio ult in on top of that Nautilus. So, pretty similar things, I think, happening overall in these bottom lanes. But as your cat makes an appearance.
Yeah, my jungle got invaded.
I feel like a lot of the game is really going to be focused around top lane, though. When you do have Camille Galio, it's such a powerful combo. Huni has been vulnerable on the Gnar when he has played it, and I do think that so much attention is going to be put up towards that top lane from the junglers, potentially from the mid laners as well. That could decide a lot of the pace of the game.
All right, well, it's going to be an exciting one here. I think most people have called it for Team Liquid, but certainly it could go either way, especially depending on the work that TSM have done after week 1. You have to expect that this is a team that is only going to get stronger as they play more and more games together, because this is 5 players that have never played together before. The talent is there, the potential is there. But Team Liquid are always a tall task for any team looking to do just about anything in the LCS, honestly, even something as simple as winning a single game. And TL should also be powered up with Santorin making his way into the lineup for the first time this year, and certainly for the first time in a Team Liquid jersey. And already Jensen and CoreJJ teaming up in the mid-brush, hoping somebody pokes their little head out into the river.
The one thing I will say is while everyone is kind of expecting Santorin to be a player upgrade, they maybe aren't as comfortable playing with him right now, because I do know that they were actually scrimming with Armao, so probably have a lot more practice in with him compared to Santorin. Santorin, I think, arrived sometime last weekend, so he should have about a week of scrims under his belt, and we'll see how that does work out here. Going Conqueror, which does feel like less common these days. It was pretty much exclusively Conqueror on Nidalee we were seeing really at the end of last year. But I'll be interested to see, if he's just looking to get in there and actually kind of duel Spica consistently, because mostly I've been seeing like a lot of Dark Harvest these days. It does feel like Dark Harvest and Electrocute are a lot more common. Traditionally, people kind of say you take Conqueror if you don't feel like you one combo your opposing jungler, if it's going to be more skirmish heavy. So maybe that's the reasoning here.
Yeah, we'll certainly find out, but Spica on the red just kiting it around. Probably going to be full clearing this side of the jungle to kick things off. Same side start there for Santorin over on the blue, as the bot lanes are already dueling. It is PTA for tactical, as you said, alongside the engaged bots. That's what you want for those kind of all-ins. Not nearly as much poke here, so no need for combat, but early on, lost with the Halo Blades alongside Aftershock, Ignite, SwordArt's Leona. Going to get in nice and aggressive here, of course. The race to level 2, always very important.
Yeah, and a lot of the thought process is basically just that, like, you can go Comet alongside something like a Nautilus, but the Nautilus isn't going to provide enough poke that you can kind of overcome the built-in sustain and just potions and stuff that are there. So generally people feel like, all right, well, PTA is going to be more useful for the team fight, more useful for the all-in, so just go towards that unless you have a second kind of poke champ in that lane with you.
Certainly a matchup to watch here in the top side, as Huni does get a wallop down in onto Alphari, but Camille already going back in. Gnar is just so vulnerable. And Alphari going to win out on that trade, but Huni looking for the proc. One more auto required, hops around looking for it, but not going to be able to land it on Alphari before the debuff expires.
Yeah, not a great angle on the jump there from Huni. He didn't want to jump into melee range of Alphari, so he was kind of trying to find an angle where he could jump and basically land max range from Alphari while still getting that ultimate, or rather that auto off for the proc. Unfortunately, he did not land that, and it does put him in a pretty awkward spot. We have Santorin invading here because Alphari has pressure. He got it. Oh, that's so frustrating for Spica. You can see the question marks coming out around there, but now Huni knows Nidalee is around top side. His wave's pushing away from him as we see an engage on bot side.
Lost just got ignited. This could be a kill tactical. One more auto needed, but SwordArt is going to counter ignite. The W there is going to be blocked by CoreJJ, but SwordArt all on his own in a 1v2 is going to take out tactical. Surely, no, it's not. It's close. Oh! But it is Nautilus to get to, and CoreJJ flash hook. See you later, Sunshine. It's CoreJJ is going to grab the double kill.
Oh, SwordArt just got knocked out of the air there. Just barely not able to finish off tactical. He's flying through the air with the Zenith Blade, dies midair, and then Lost had kind of just hung around, unfortunately for him, and gives up a second easy kill after that. That is a big deal here. The only takeaway that TSM can kind of be a little bit happy about is the fact that CoreJJ got both the kills. At least for them, it is not on tactical, but still pretty devastating to go 0 for 2 that early on and have to be so close.
It's like the worst consolation prize ever. It's like, oh, at least the support's the one that got the double kill there. I think maybe they thought CoreJJ had used Flash a little bit earlier, but as it stands, he had it all ready to go as Alphari and Huni still dueling here in the top side of the map. Huni this time gonna get that proc.
Yeah, and Huni needs to be able to play aggressive as we go into the Honda performance play here down on the bot side. We can watch this one more time. The minion gets killed off, right timed with that hook from CoreJJ. That was just so well done. Lost pushed out of the fight immediately. CoreJJ also stepping in front of that Kaisa W, blocking it out. And look at SwordArt flying through the air, dies midair. And then Lost, what are you doing hanging around there, bud? His W's already been used. It's not like he has another opportunity to snipe him. You can't walk back in and Q, you'll just die. So Lost, getting greedy, hoping he could stay around and get something done, unfortunately gives up the easy second kill there. As CoreJJ just played that perfectly. Timing on the initial hook, the blocking of the Kaisa spell, catching Lost at the very end of it. It's a thing of beauty right there.
No smites here. Oh, Jensen, this is a good angle. Galio flashes in. Good knockback, but the taunt still lands on a PoE. SwordArt going to get locked up at the front side as Tactical is going to take that one, and TL going to get the kill and the Dragon to boot. Already up 1,500 gold in this early game.
I can't say I like TSM even trying to poke around there, knowing that Spica is topside. I mean, look at the map, right? He is on the other side of the map. He's not even remotely close. So it feels like such a risky play to go for, knowing that you're going to be down numbers if TL matches the roams. Sure, PowerOfEvil is over there, but if Jensen matches, you're always going to be down on numbers. And that just felt like such a high-risk, low-reward play there for TSM. Like, really, what are the chances you're going to steal that from Nidalee without your jungler? Like, maybe you can push him off, but instead, they give up the kills and they give up the dragon anyway, and now PowerOfEvil has no flash, so a roam from someone like Alphari could set up, for that Galio ultimate onto Syndra and could be another easy kill.
Yeah, Spica on the enemy Krugs, not in the vicinity as you mentioned. He's actually looking at lane gank here in the top side. Huni ready with the ultimate is Gnar currently, but I think maybe just shadowing here for Spica.
Exactly.
Alphari has been trading pretty aggressively, especially as Huni dips into mini-Gnar form, but just some coverage here from the TSM jungler as both of them will take a recall here in the top lane.
Yep, Huni just really wanted to reset. Unfortunately, not only does Spica go up there, but they don't even get the reset. Like, it didn't actually get a full reset. Alphari still had that mini freeze. He was able to pull the minions to the side. And that's one of those things that can really help to create these big advantages. They talked on the desk about Huni and his -20 CSD, really has been struggling in the laning phase and feels like kind of heading towards that again here as he's already down 15 CS. Yes, he did just get a base off, but we'll see if he can actually, get this wave into a more manageable spot because thus far he has been very, very nervous about fully resetting the wave. Knowing that Santorin could be around, knowing that roams could come across from Jensen, but sometimes it's better to just risk it and try to reset the wave because if you don't, you can lose so much experience in gold for free.
Yeah, it's going to be tough here, but I think the wave is at least moving back towards Huni's side of the lane, so that's good news there. Jensen going to go ahead and roam over to the blue buff. Santorin had it set up nicely. Looks like Winds of War was on cooldown for a second there, but Jensen does grab it as Santorin continues to fly through the jungle here. Spica is also level 6, so has a significantly higher ability to try and force something in one of these lanes or these skirmishes with the sleep. But looks like the lane did reset here eventually for Huni, so still down, 2-ish waves, and he's going to have to just bash Alphari out of the way because CoreJJ is on the roam already in the top lane.
Yep, Alphari, he pulled the wave, but because it's so close to your tower, it does usually eventually stack and push back to your opponent unless you have a lot of minions held there. So that's why CoreJJ is up here, right? And they can potentially set up for a Rift Herald. They can potentially look for a dive, so it's a pretty valuable roam. Alphari is just playing it safe. He knows that Spica could have been in a brush there. Of course, we have full vision and know that he wasn't. But he was just sitting back, giving up some of those minions, giving up some of that experience until his teammates could be around and he can get that wave reset. Santorin, meanwhile, is on the Rift Herald here. We can see that Tactical feels like they haven't secured. So Tactical is actually just going to go back towards bot and catch this wave. I actually prefer teams doing it this way a lot. Recently in pro play, and really last year too, we have been seeing a lot of teams just kind of really overcommitting to Herald. You know, even if they're not 100% sure that they can fight it, they're sending up 5 members, and they're giving up so much golden experience off of missed waves. So I'd rather see teams, you know, kind of roam halfway up and go back to catch those waves if it's looking good.
Yeah, unfortunately for TSM, SwordArt was up there, so TSM actually had enough people to maybe get a look in and try and contest, but instead Team Liquid walk away with the Herald, still up about 2,000 gold after also getting those first 2 monsters in both the Rift Herald and the first Drake, with the next one coming up in a minute 15. Spica will at least grab this Scuttle Crab on the right-hand side of the map, but SwordArt still looking for that level 6 alongside CoreJJ, as the bottom lane has been relatively even. Tactical up right now, actually a pretty healthy amount of CS, but other than that, Team Liquid just kind of, you know, doing the Team Liquid thing, which is slowly but surely get ahead because you better.
Yeah, I mean, they have really strong laners. They have very good coordination, you know, throughout the last couple of years, especially since CoreJJ has joined. One of the strengths of TL has really been their vision control. They're very good at controlling vision in the area that they are looking to play towards, especially, you know, mid and late game. That's one of the reasons when you talk to pros that people will attribute to it being so hard to actually come back against TL. You know, they often have incredible win rates when playing with a lead because they are very good at closing out games, at setting up vision, stealing away your jungle camps, and doing this kind of slow, methodical play.
Now, well, Santorin does have that Rift Herald still as a reminder, so opportunity here to maybe chuck it down the bottom half of the map and then take this dragon. We often see this play in mid lane, where the jungle will just kind of use the Herald as a distraction, but again, talking about that vision control you mentioned, Team Liquid just already on top of it. Don't have that Scuttle Crab, of course, that Spica just took, but 2 lanes pushing here on the bottom half of the map. They've taken all the vision but the one. They literally can't sweep off the map in the Speed Shrine. And Team Liquid are going to be set up to take this dragon in just a moment's notice. In fact, Santorin's already started it.
I like some of these little things that we're seeing as there's going to be an all-in bot side.
Yeah, all-in is good. Ulti out from Tactical, though, is going to turn it back around. And Lost is just straight up going to die to Ignite, as SwordArt can only wait under his turret.
Yeah, he flashed. It seemed like maybe a little bit too late. Maybe could have tried to flash up out of the MF ultimate, but either way, a great turn there as CoreJJ can just tank the tower, and Tactical gets the full channeled ulti on Lost. Ooh, Spica's in trouble.
Bambi, no, Spica, he's trapped in the cage, and Alphari is just going to shut it down. In fact, Jensen gets in there for an assist, not bad at all. But Alphari catch the freebie there.
Well, now Syndra's actually moving up here. So if Jensen goes back, it could be a bit of an anti-timing for him, where Alphari may get dove. Yep.
Still just chilling out. Oh, Alphari, see you later. Huni in Megaform was more than enough, comboed in with PoE. As I'm sure we'll get a look in on that play in just a moment, but you called it.
Yeah, I mean, I saw Jensen, you know, he ults in, yes, he gets the assist, but wasn't really needed whatsoever, and then he was just heading straight back towards mid to actually catch the wave. And unfortunately for Alphari, that did mean that no one was there to answer the Syndra. Syndra, it's an easy setup if you can start that, you know, with the Gnar. You can ult him against the wall, easy scatter of the weak, ultimate comes through. Pretty simple kill to execute on there, but Alphari still doing a good job up on that top side. Yes, this does put him a little bit further behind than he was, but you know, he has a kill of his own, and we can watch this one more time. So Alphari, knowing that he has to be somewhat respectful because PowerOfEvil wasn't there, but by the time he sees him, Huni just scoops him right over towards PowerOfEvil. That was really cleanly done. Nice engage by Huni.
Yeah, caught a flash there too, I believe, so Alphari didn't even get use out of the Summoner spell, as it will be Battle of the Spellblades in the top lane there. Divine Sunder for Huni versus Trinity Force there for Alphari. Always fun to see. Second Dragon, though, did go to TL as they continue to have a stronger hold over this map. Up 3,000 gold, so still doing very well in the early stages of the game, but you can see some glimpses of life here for TSM with PowerOfEvil completing that roam, and slowly but surely as they power up, this game should get a little bit easier. But Team Liquid generally, once they have a lead, very bad at letting go of it, which is a great thing for them.
Yeah, and I mean, the problem is, like, I don't even think that TSM really have any sort of a scaling advantage or anything like that, right? Plus TL have a dragon lead. You know, if you were down this much gold, but at least you had the dragons, you have something a bit more simple to play towards. As it stands right now, it feels like TL kind of won the draft and they're winning the early game. With this tower going down, they're going to have so much gold. You look at the itemization between Tactical and Lost right now, and I assume Lost has some gold to spend. But Tactical just got all of that tower gold by himself. You he's going to be on closing in on 2 items here, and Lost is going to be so far behind. You're going to have the split push advantage with Alphari, into the Gnar. You're going to be outscaling in that side lane. Your engage in teamfights is incredibly easy with Nautilus plus Galio or even the Camille plus Galio. So I do feel like almost everything is favoring TL right now, and TSM are going to have to find some sort of outplays, whether it's through picks and roams from SwordArt, whether it's through, multi-man sleep from Spica or some sort of great scout of the week or Gnar engage. It needs to be something a bit more special, I feel like, for them to really have a chance.
Yeah, as you can see the live gold graph, it's 4,400 gold and counting right now for Team Liquid, as it's just gotten worse and worse for TSM. Tactical also invested his money very recently. He's now picked up a Collector, so what was a Gale Force plus Collector advantage over Lost is now just that. Lost hasn't even finished a full item yet.
It's so sad. Yeah, Lost didn't even finish an item on his base there. And he's going for this Kaisa build, which is very standard, where you go for the Serrated Dirk and then you go towards Gale Force generally. But it does delay your first completed item, and then when you're having a bad game, it comes in so comically late. Like the discrepancy in power between these two ADs is absolutely enormous right now, and when Tactical hits 11, it's going to be even bigger with rank 2 on the ultimate, the burst coming through from him, as well as the easy lockdown and setup. You have the Camille Galio, you have the Nautilus point and click ultimate, and then you just ult over top of that with your super fed AD carry, and you probably kill someone 100-0 basically every single time.
All right, well, Huni is trying to get something back here for TSM. He's actually doing pretty well right now in the 1v1. He's up 10 CS. He's going to take out this tower. So TSM at least going to get a turret taken for themselves. Ooh, into the wall we go. That's Huni, I think, just using it for the sake of it. Gnar is pretty low ulti cooldown because you don't get it all that often, and his Mega Null is expiring, so just throws Alphari into the turret rubble for a bit of fun. Yep,
and now they're actually setting a trap down there for Alphari. You can see SwordArt as well as Huni sneaking into the brush on the minimap. If you look over towards that bot lane, they're likely going to try to engage onto Alphari, but we'll see if they do want to go for it.
I love this angle from SwordArt. Oh, the bait! Over the outfield he goes! Here comes Spica as well! Alphari going to be put to sleep. It's not even needed as Spica prances in for the kill secure.
I don't know about the TP from PowerOfEvil. I think that was a bit much. He was looking pretty dead there. But a great trap really laid by Huni, and he baited Alphari very effectively there. Alphari had to give up his tower on the bot side because his jungler was top. He knew Spica was around, so he plays defensive. But then he's thinking, all right, now it's my time to have fun. As we see CoreJJ going in.
Setting up the ulti there with the Nautilus on top of the MF ult, but Tactical not quite able to get anyone in their PoE. Going to find a stun onto CoreJJ, and I think he hit Santorin as well. Another hook, though, is going to shut down Spica, and Santorin gets that kill as MF just assassinates poor Lost there, collecting a bit of extra gold on top of the kill. And once again, TL get the third dragon.
Well, they're probably going to get 2 towers, I think, potentially here, as this tower is basically dead. Rift Herald is there, and they're already wrapping around towards that tier 2. Lost just got collected by Tactical in that team fight. A solo kill in the midst of a full-on team fight is pretty rare. No one even touched Lost besides Tactical there. And to get the dragon, they are on soul point. They have that double turret kill with that Herald dropped in mid lane there. And this game is just absolutely out of control. TSM at this point, you are depending upon your opponent's mistakes. You can no longer rely on even your own playmaking. They really have been crushing it. And that gold graph, it's important to note that the top number, when it looks like it dropped off, was still over 3,000 gold lead, right? This is not a graph from 0 to 5.4k. It is from 3,100.
Yep. As we like to call it, it's a graph from bad to worse. Alphari in on PowerOfEvil alongside Santorin into the cage you go, and Spica with a double sleep is going to try and set something up for Huni. Santorin into the wall. Oh, Spica, that one doesn't work. Tried to get over there, but Jensen also with the ulti is going to give Lost a kill. Santorin gets it, maybe a second.
Tactical.
He flashes out, but Tactical ready to go as Jensen lined up the taunt, and that's 2 more for the Team Liquid side as Lost is just that once again. Collect him again, Tactical. Alphari stole it. Going to pick himself up the double kill.
They are just melting through TSM. Tactical is absurdly strong at this point. He takes a couple autos and pretty much kills anyone over on the TSM team. They are going to lose another tower off the back of this. I like that TSM went for a play. You've got to be somewhat proactive here. You've got to hope that you can out-skirmish or that your opponents make a mistake there. They overcommit. Something has to go wrong. And if you don't push them, you're never even going to get a chance at that. So I like them going for the play, but it's just not working out here as PowerOfEvil look for the scatter. So Alphari goes in for the blind hook shot, doesn't quite connect, but then the ultimate comes in, setting up Santorin. It was a good splash on the spear, but he's still locked into that ultimate, so it was always going to go down. And then Galio coming up here. Tactical is roaming in. Yes, Santorin gets burst down, but look at the damage from Tactical. Just a couple autos. Like, auto Q auto is basically 100% of their HP at this point, proccing the PTA with the collector damage on top as well. Really nice job there. And then the Zhonya's, rather stopwatch coming through to deny even a trade kill from Lost, who has just not had a fun game.
And not that Gale Force is bad at him by any means, but that's not even like Eclipse MF that really bursts people with her Q. All right, this is you know, slightly more, well, I was going to say slightly more reasonable, but that's not true. But you know, not quite as bursty as MFs can be, and Tactical without his ulti still cleans up that team fight nice and easily. So Team Liquid looking to assault the bottom tier 2 tower. It's 3 for TSM. Here's Huni, is going to juke it out. Oh, Hop is just going to go a little short, but enough to get Huni off to relative safety.
And now, collecting vision all in this bottom area. Where do you think TL's looking? They are looking towards the Dragon Soul. That is why it is a full vision clear on this bot side. They have 5 pink wards in this quadrant of the map. There's 3 on your screen right now, 1 further down the lane, and then 1 up in the river. This is just complete and utter vision dominance. There is that 1 ward in the pit, which you expect to get swept out, but just no way for TSM to actually walk forward and even try to get over into their jungle.
All right, well, Alphari, oh, he's diving in. He wants them in. There goes Jensen's Galio. Does get the knock up there, and see you later, Huni, as Alphari's on a rampage. 5 kills now for the Camille, as TL are just going to very effortlessly break this bottom inhib tower and the inhib to go with it. TSM just running out of options here. Spica's in mid lane trying to counter push, but that's not going to last too long for the Lillia.
I think they've got one option left, and it's go next, because this game is looking so over. TL are steamrolling. First game back here with Santorin, looking really, really good. But the bot lane picking up where they left off. They have been incredible throughout the entire lock-in tournament. Even in the game that they did actually lose, where they were getting dove in bot lane, it started with a level 1 2v2 kill that they actually were able to grab for themselves. So they have been outstanding, and you know, Jensen filling more of a supplementary role this game with the Galio, facilitating the composition. Alphari not as dominant in the lane. I think that, you know, TSM did a better job maybe helping Huni to stay relevant in that 1v1 here, but he has been really, really effective in a lot of these skirmishes in just setting up his teammates with the ultimate.
Have to agree, it's 20 seconds until the final Dragon is up, and that, of course, is the Dragon Soul for Team Liquid if they do choose to go and get it. I thought we might briefly have a game where the Dragon Soul was just left on the table, but Team Liquid not quite winning that quickly, but this is looking to be a pretty zippy one here, as TSM are just going to try and find a pick once again.
I mean, it's 21 minutes in, right? The Baron has barely spawned, so they are playing at a pretty insane pace. It doesn't feel like it's that early, but look at Tactical. He's going to delete this guy.
Tactical gets another one, make it kill number 3 only.
That
involved in 11 or 14.
Man.
Oh. And more collection here for Tactical. Just grabs the double on the SwordArt, as Alphari is the one to set that up. Santorin's going to go ahead and take the Dragon Soul, because Team Liquid are busy starting the Baron on the other side of the map, and it just feels like Team Liquid can do no wrong.
Yeah, they are just so much stronger at this point. They can really go anywhere, do anything. They'll collect the Soul while getting 2 kills top, while taking the Baron. Everything is theirs on this map. With Spica dead, TSM knows they have no chance to contest, but it's just getting worse and worse and worse for TSM. 22 minutes in, your opponents have Soul and about a 12,000 gold lead here, plus the Baron buff. Your chances of defending this are pretty slim, to say the least, as one more time, Spica gets spotted here by that ward. They know they can go for the engage, right? And CoreJJ goes in, Gale Force closing the gap, allowing Tactical to get in there, and it really only takes a couple autos on pretty much anyone. There's no one that can stand up to him. He already has the full 3 items here with the IE completed. Azael even purchased on top of that now. Stopwatch in there, so there's not really even any chance of bursting him down. He has his summoners available. This is pretty much unwinnable here for TSM. They've got to find some sort of a miracle play to have any hope of a close team fight, but TL looking to be methodical and just sending Alphari to Baron buff up that bottom wave. They already have supers in this lane, and it's going to draw multiple members to even just wave clear.
Yeah, when you ran out of rage, that's really their best option on the Spica. Find some sort of really silly sleep angle, which is possible, but Team Liquid and the Red Bull Baron buff are just going to charge down mid and look to clean up at least one more inhibitor to open up the door to the Nexus. CoreJJ, the insta-flushes in after his ADC gets stunned and lost. He's just going to get deleted. Not yet. Centauron's going to make it last a little bit. Spica is out of there as Jensen finds the Justice Punch. And now PowerOfEvil is also caught between 4 different people as Alphari trying to 1v2 on the other side of the map. He's going to get a little bit of shielding there as he shall be able to escape as Centauron moves in for the assist. And Alphari still going great wallop there from Huni, actually, but under the tower. Golden goes Centauron, and down goes Huni as Team Liquid find the dive, and Jensen's on a killing spree as well.
They've got supers in the bot lane. That should do it. 24 minutes in. Killing TSM off in their own base, diving the towers, cleaning up the kills. This was absolute domination in the first game here with TL's fully completed roster. They crush TSM in lock-in.
Yeah, that was a beatdown. You know, we wondered how good Centauron going to be. Predictably, he's pretty good, but I would argue he was the quietest person in that game for Team Liquid. And not that he played badly by any stretch of the imagination, it just felt like Team Liquid had everything under control. Like, I like the attempts that TSM went for, but Team Liquid just back to their old selves. It's almost like this is the story every single time Team Liquid changes their roster. They almost always find a way to make the team just as good as it was.
I mean, we have seen some pretty insane bot lane performances throughout the lock-in tournament, both from CoreJJ and Tactical. We've seen some incredible ones from from C9, from 100 Thieves. There are some really damn good bot lanes in this league, and this was just one of those games where it wasn't that Centauron was having a bad game or doing anything wrong. It's just that his bot lane slammed so hard that he didn't have to do anything. Because CoreJJ and Tactical just absolutely ran over the game. By the end of the game, Tactical is like 2.5 items ahead of loss. Like, this is just comical levels of ahead. And he is just walking around killing everyone with 1 or 2 autos in a queue. So not much you could do about that.
All right, well, we need a break, and we're going to hear from Jensen in 3 short minutes, which is the perfect amount of time you need to subscribe to youtube.com/LCS to get that set up, and we'll see you here after this.